It's important you understand the big picture. So let me explain why the government cannot afford rates of over 5%. That doesn't mean they're not able to raise rates above 5%, but that means they would have to monetize the debt, which would eventually collapse the dollar. So what is happening? Why does the government want to keep this charade going as long as possible to prevent the inevitable? The US national debt has been growing for about $1 trillion a year for the past 8 years or so. The main problem with the debt is when the boomers started to retire, the Social Security Trust Fund, which was just a piggy bank for the government to borrow money from, turned into a liability that is costing them money. And when the boomers were our age, they were warned by Ronald Reagan and others that the price will be paid by your kids and grandkids. Guess what? We are those grandkids, and we will pay the price. The current national debt is close to $31.6 trillion, which doesn't include the unfunded liabilities of Social Security, which is another $94 trillion. Yeah, 3 times as large. Alright, next, let's figure out how they're paying off all this. We're starting to look at their income. For the past 6 years before 2020, tax received was around $3.3 trillion. However, something happened in 2021. Tax receipts went to $4 trillion. And in 2022, which is not written here, they went to almost $5 trillion. This jump was entirely due to capital gains taxes because of the stock market and asset bubble that was created during the pandemic. So without that bubble, tax receipts would be around $3.3 trillion. So what happens if the Fed raises rates to 5%? Not only would the stock market crash, which means bye-bye to capital gains revenue, and people would flee to bonds, which would give a safe return. Let's round the national debt to $32 trillion, and the answer is $1.6 trillion of interest paid per year, assuming the government stops piling on to that debt. In 2022, the interest paid on the national debt was only $475 billion. A 5% rate would increase the debt threefold. And remember the tax revenue? So imagine about half of the revenue of the government would be used just to pay off debt. And we all know the government won't stop adding on to that debt, and the interest will just keep going up. If they raise taxes or cut spending, they're going to be voted out. So the only way they can stay in power is to create a system where they cannot be voted out at the expense of your wealth and your freedom. So I'm going to stop here. I don't want to say too much, but if you're interested to learn more and support me and this channel, I'm announcing a 3-day free trial for my daily newsletter. Link in the bio. Don't forget to like and share and comment what you think. Take care.